And you've seen this in his previous one with Charles Johnson. He stuck a lot of those takedowns and already stuck intense here.
Are you going to come downstairs when you're done?
Huh?
Are you going to come downstairs when you're done?
No, I'm gonna stay here.
We'll finish your fights.
Yes. All right, we are live. We are live. Just give me a thumbs up that you guys can hear and see me. The UFC is on. I got Ulanbekov in this fight, just in a long shot parlay. My man, welcome, Brent. Welcome, welcome. Fuck, man. Awful swing with Usman beating Hamdi. That was a $10,000 fucking swing for me. Ended up losing like 6 dimes instead of winning 4 dimes. But it went over. That limited the hurt a little bit. So puts us down about 2 units. But I like what we got in the UFC today. I love those totals. I really do. I love the 2 sides that are remaining as well. Welcome, S. Dot. Welcome, brother. Big Blue. Thank you, my man. Thanks for the thumbs up. Let's give everybody a minute to come in. And then don't worry, we won't be long today. We won't be too long. I know everybody wants to watch the UFC. And we'll go over some of those fights and answer any questions. By now, I've got an opinion pretty much on everything. Welcome, Nathan, my man. And as you guys know, we're WNBA, 3% play on Chicago. We're opposite that early overnight steam that pushed it up from -8 to 11. We're taking the 11 on Chicago. Just checking to see if anything else came in. Nothing so far. We'll go through the baseball quickly too, and then also talk about Game 7. Welcome, Sonny. Welcome. And any questions that you have, let's just give everybody a minute. It's 10 o'clock now on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. We'll talk results real quickly too. Let me just let them know on Twitter that we are live. All right, we are live. Like I said, I got Ulanbekov in this fight in a long shot parlay. All right. Give everybody a minute. Welcome. Coastal Carolina, right? Why not? Like I talked about, listen, all the money was made early in college baseball. Like, you got to understand, we do this for money. Like, I don't do this to follow the sport or cheer in a team. I attack this market as an investment, move on to other things the rest of the day, because it's a beatable market. Kind of like why I play blackjack, because it's a beatable game. And funny story, me and my girl went the other day to the casino. A great game, amazing game. Anyone that took my course in blackjack, if you're in Las Vegas, I highly recommend going to the Suncoast, which is a Boyd property, or the Orleans, which is a Boyd property. You could get them to deal so deep into a double deck game. Well, make a long story short, I was playing 25 to 250, 1-10 spread. Great game. It just wasn't coming my way. It just didn't come. I ended up losing like $600, I think. Anyway, instead of ready to leave, and it was my birthday. So I told my girl, you want to gamble a little bit? She's like, yeah. I said, play craps. Let's play some craps. You roll. Bro, I swear to you, she held that dice for over 20 minutes. Point. She's like, can we go? I'm like, no, you're still rolling. Are you kidding? Like, and they let you do 10 times odds at Suncoast. And, you know, full odds on craps is the only even money bet on the casino floor. Other than like card counting, which gives you an advantage where you know which hands you have the edge in blackjack, putting odds on your pass line bet is the only even money bet on the floor. That's why they've minimized that. You used to be able to get 100 times odds, 200 times odds. Now it's like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times odds. They give you 10 times odds. So I was putting 25 pass line, 250 behind. And she was rolling. She had rolled a 4, a 5, a 9, an 8 again, a 6, a 5. She just kept rolling point, 7s in between. Lit it up, went to the cage to cash out. Dude comes up behind us. He's like, dude, I was at that table all night. That was the best roll. He's like, I got all my money back and I'm up. Thank you so much. First time she ever touched the dice, and ended up lighting it up. And it always works out that way. Always works out. Thank you, Big Blue. Yeah, I thought that the blackjack course, honestly, you are armed with everything you need to be the favorite versus the casino. Every time you walk in there, like, you're not going to win every time you walk in there, but I promise you, if you follow my blueprint, you have the edge over the house. You're a plus EV blackjack player. There's nothing they can do. After enough hands, you're going to be up. And if you follow the blueprint and stick to it, you'll continue to grow your bankroll and just spread bigger. Like, you'll go from spreading $5 to 50 to eventually going to 25, 250, eventually going 100 to 1,000. Trust me, if you follow that blueprint, I share not just every like blueprint you need to follow as far as which count to use, which games to look for, exactly how much to bet based on the count, when to deviate from basic strategy. I taught you guys how to get away with it and have longevity. I shared so many secrets that I never thought I would ever be able to talk about and give out to anybody. I always thought one day I just want to have a course, have a book to leave behind to sell that freaking blueprint. Because anyone that wants to have the edge over the house, it is there. And again, like I said, now that's a skill set you have forever. Even if you're not properly funded today, you will be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. It doesn't matter. You dust that off. You study it. You master it. You walk into the casino, you print money. It's just like that. You're not going to win every session. I'm the perfect example. I lost. But a week before that, we went into the casino and I chopped them up. Same game. You know what I mean? So you're not going to win every session, but you're going to win long term. Oh, yeah, Big Blue. Perfect Basic is going to get you with comps. If you know how to work the comps, you'll be even money playing blackjack. You could be an even money guy easily. But Dan Ulenbekov having problems. Good thing we didn't straight bet him. I'd be nervous right now. All right, let's go. Let's get this going. We got about 500 people in here. Let's see if we could break the 2,200 live. Let's go over results. As you guys know, it's been a good week. Number one in profit over the last 7 days. But here's what I'm more proud of. We are now number two at Wager Talk in 2025. Profit one overall. That's the goal. Remember, I came into 2025 with all the pressure in the world. And that's why I love this SteamRoom, because it makes me accountable to my subscribers. Not you just buy from me and that's it. I get your money and regardless of results. No. I have to come in here every week and be accountable for the information I shared. Go over those results over the last week. Go over those results over the last month. Talk about year to date and long term, because that's the goal. If your goal is aligned with mine, which is to be profitable when December 31st rolls around, I'm not going to disappoint you. I know I can't guarantee a winning year, but my long-term history tells you that we're heavily favored to have a winning 2025 because I'm coming off a losing 2024. And it's going to happen because 2024 marked 10 years that I documented, 10 straight years. I had documented every single day, every premium release from the big moves to wager talk. And I work with an 80-20 risk of ruin, which means I will double my bank 8 out of 10 times, but I know I'm going to lose it 2 out of 10 times. To do that, I need 400 units. That's the risk I'm playing with. Now, once you have an edge, you can determine your own risk of ruin. You have the strength. You have the ability to say, this is my risk tolerance. Since I have an edge, based on this bet spread, I'm going to double my bankroll 9 out of 10 times. Shit, you could do it 99 out of 100. You could only have a 1% risk of ruin, but you need 1,000 units. So if you're betting $10 a bet per unit, you need $10,000. And let's be honest, how many bettors out there with a $10,000 bankroll are betting $10 a bet, especially if they know they have an edge and that they're long-term winners, right? Nobody is. That's why nobody's working with a 1% risk of ruin, except the betting syndicates that are so well funded based on the amount they're actually betting and getting down. But even with you could work a 10% risk of ruin. 500 units is what you need. So if you're betting $10 a game, you need 5,000. With $5,000 though, you're betting 10 a game, you'll have a 10% risk of ruin. You're going to double your bank 9 out of 10 times. That's a good position to be in. You should have 9 out of 10 getting winning years. I work with an 80%, 20% risk of ruin, 80% double. And what did I do? Over 10 years, I lost. Yes, last year was my second losing year. I won 8, lost 2. See how the law of big numbers, how that tends to work itself out? I'm comfortable with that. And after the last losing year, we had a record winning year. And I feel confident this is going to be one of those years. So far, that's where we stand. Number 2 in profit. Number 1 in baseball overall. Number 1 on 5%. Last 365. Those are the biggest bets I give. We should be. And again, this isn't promotion. This is me being accountable. Because last year, I had to come in here every week. And when I was getting buried, I still had to go over those results. That we're down this much. That we're down this percentage of bankroll. Luckily, and it ain't even luckily, it's hard work. It's the network. It's risk management. That's why we're at where we are. And as of going into today, again, we're sitting number 2 in profit, over 1.5% ROI, which I think we could even improve on that. And why? Because now we're up over 1,200 bets. We have statistical significance. That is where we should have produced a profit, just like with blackjack. Over 100 hands, I don't know if you're going to be up. Over 1,000 hands, you may not even be up. But over 5,000 hands, if you apply my system, you're going to be up. The law of big numbers is on your side. You're the house. Just like the house knows, all we have to do is keep the doors open. We have a built-in edge on every game on the casino floor that, sure, someone's going to win, but so many are losing. With us, it's the flip side. We have the edge. We want to see hands. We want to play sports bets. That's where we want to be. So that's where we sit. And remember, the 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, that only reflects the strength of the bet. That's not a bet size recommendation. Anyone betting 5% of their bankroll per bet will go broke. Let me repeat that. If you're betting 5% of your bankroll per bet, you're going broke. The question is, how long before it happens? Because your risk of ruin is too high. So if you have a $1,000 bankroll and you're betting 50 a game, it's not going to end well. Because even during your most profitable years, you will have some horrific runs. That's part of it. That's the math. That's facts. That's how it plays out. That's what nobody on gambling Twitter wants to talk about. Instead, they want to show off their lifestyle and show off the cash that they're betting at the window. And just follow my bets, and you could live so lavishly too. Stop the nonsense, bro. I live in the real world. Stop the fantasy nonsense. We live in the fucking real world, not that bullshit virtual reality nonsense and internet nonsense. We live in the real world where people have bills, we have responsibilities. We don't have paper money. It doesn't just fall from the skies. So that's why we got to protect our business. And if you're using sports betting as an investment vehicle, then you have to treat it like a business. So it pays you like a business. But if you're gambling and you're all over social media and betting games for action and following free picks and all that nonsense, you know how it ends. You already know how it ends. You're experienced enough. You've lost enough money. Let's be honest. Trust me. I paid for my education. I lost enough to have an Ivy League education. And I had access to the best info on the planet. I was a runner on the Las Vegas Strip at a time when the betting syndicates were so far ahead of the books, where they weren't just copying lines off screen, where you could shop for numbers, just shopping alone, you could bury them. So believe me when I tell you, I had gold at my fingertips and I couldn't make money with it because I was over betting my advantage, my bankroll, my expenses, my partying, everything was in that off that same bankroll. I didn't treat it like a business, so why would it pay me like a business? I didn't deserve it. I make the analogy all the time. Why don't I look like the guys on the cover of Muscle Fitness, even though I want to? Because I don't deserve to. Every action I do doesn't reflect what someone that looks like that lives like. I don't eat like them. I don't work out like them. I don't sleep like them. I don't dedicate my life to looking like that like they do. So why the fuck should I look like that? I don't deserve to. Well, I should feel sorry for myself because I want to? That's bullshit. Same thing with sports betting. We know that only 1 out of every 200 bettors are profitable. That's 0.5%. You're fighting an uphill battle. I'm not here to discourage you. I'm here to encourage you. But about reality and what you're going to have to encounter and overcome to be in that 0.5%. You can do it. If I did it, I have a high school education. I'm from the streets of Philadelphia. I came here with $600, nothing. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. But it took me longer than it should have because I didn't have that discipline and that education. So I don't care. I know you're here for free picks, and this may piss people off, and they've jumped off the stream because they just wanted picks. But the picks don't mean shit if you don't know how to use it. It's like giving someone a gun. It's useless to them unless they know how to use it. Same thing with this gold that we have access to. Unless you know how to use it, you're not going to be up. But if your goal's aligned with mine to be in that 0.5%, when December 31st rolls around, rest assured, I'm not going to disappoint. Right now, I'm locked in with getting really good stuff. And as you can see from our results. Now, Ulanbekov got the win there. Next up, Alexeva and Segula. I have the under 2.5 here. Under 2.5 at plus 115. I got plus 120. But as long as you're getting plus anything, I think it's a coin flip at worst. Coin flip at worst as far as the over-under. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Segula's that pretty girl. Segula's that pretty one. Now, if you've watched Wager Talk today, you know I also have Park. And I gave Park out a week ago. Today, this morning, one of the originators that I work with, I love saying for, came in on Park. You remember, if you watch the line movement on the Jung Young Park side, what are you going to notice? That prior to a few hours ago, that line started dropping. It was going towards the dog after moving towards the favorite. You saw dog money, and boom, that's when we stepped in and bet the favorite on the Park side. I also going to give you another premium play, another 4%er. We're going under in the Mullins fight. Remember, these two met each other before. Mullins finished her, I think, in the very first round. Usually, I don't like betting the rematches to finish the same way, because even though the winner of the first wins the second, more than 6 out of 10 times, more like 65% of the time, over 70% of the time if they're favored in both, like Mullins is. So Mullins should get the W. But one of the originators that I work with, he came in on 3 over-unders, and I gave them all out to subscribers. We went over 2.5 in the Usman fight. That one cashed. We went under 2.5 in the Segula Alexeva fight, which is coming up. And we went under 2.5 in the Mullins and Daria fight as well. So those are 3 premium totals for you. Another premium I'm giving you, I'm just giving the shit away. I love you guys. WNBA, we are on the Sun plus 11. The Sun plus 11. Now, Major League Baseball, it's a very slow day. The only I can't give out the 5%. Obviously, that wouldn't be fair. Again, I'm 70% on those the last 360 plus days. I mean, I've given out only 25, I think like 27 of those. You know what I mean? So I'm giving what? 2 a month, 2.5 a month, 3 a month at the most, hitting 70% of those. We're hitting what, 2 out of 3 a month. Those are gold. Those I bet 5 dimes on. And what, we're up over 50 units. So do the math. Those have been money. I can't just, it won't be fair. But let's look at some baseball really quick in between these fights. We're going to look at it now. The baseball so far, Leonard, is the under 9.5 in the Washington and the Dodgers. Under 8.5, Washington Dodgers. Now, let me look through baseball really quick right now. See what we are working with. Hold on. Look at Arizona, Colorado really fast.
This one's just for you.
Yes. I like the under in Arizona. Let's put that one down. Let's write that one down. Under Arizona, Colorado. We have some time between now and then. We have the under. The premium is on the under in the Washington Dodgers. Let me go through my board, brother. Then I'll look at your sides real quickly too. So I can't let you see the screen, what I'm doing. This is magical stuff here. Magic.
Bacteria does too. From stinky feet to stinky diapers, your air remembers. Unlike air fresheners,
I like under in the White Sox. That's for sure. Again, nothing confirmed. Let me see. Under. Oh, that Chicago game started, against Phoenix. Phoenix lighting them up, right? All right, so other than Arizona, Colorado, I also said White Sox under in the White Sox. I like that at 8.5. At 8.5, I think that's a good bet. There's 8s out there now, too. 8s out there. But I like the under. These are, oh, that one's at noon, so we'll take a look at that a little later. Don't worry, I won't keep you on here long. The Arizona one's not till 6 p.m. So you'll see that, subscribers, and I'll put it in as a free play too. If you go to my page, go to wagerstalk.com right now, look at the free plays. You'll see, I think I gave a 4%, if not more than one already. So I hooked that page up. You want to look at that every day. And don't forget, we got a special running for 30 days, $100 off. Again, I don't like to push the promotion, but if you're going to jump on board, now's a really good time. The lulls of summers where we make a lot of money while everybody's sleeping. All right, I'm looking at Houston, LA right now. I'm looking for reasons to bet the over. I don't like that Pinnacle's at 8. Okay, we're probably going to pass there. I use Pinnacle still. I use Pinnacle still as one of the sharp books, and I have another that's off screen. That's one of my, thank you, Mitchells. Thank you, brothers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. David, love you, bro. That's it. Let's finish this one quick. Let's finish this one quick, girls. Come on. Throw those hands. Throw those hands. Yeah, going to be forced to pass on the over on Houston, LLA. Thank you, David. Love you, brother. I'm just trying to help guys. Honestly, bro, this is, again, I've done this now since I was young. When I came here in Las Vegas, it was 26, what am I saying? 27 years. This August is going to be my 27th, 28th year in Las Vegas. And I was doing this before that in Philadelphia. So all the mistakes that any sports bettor is going to make, I promise you, I've made them. My goal isn't to talk from a position of superiority. It's to talk from a position of relating. I've been there. Everything you're going to encounter, I've encountered. Every demon on your shoulder, I faced and continue to face. Like the discipline that even after you become a winning bettor, or even after you have information, like there's guys that I work with that were subscribers that got me accounts. And now, I work with them that way, where we bet into those accounts and they get a bunch of information that's not even, it's time sensitive. So subscribers don't even get. And now they have access to such good information, but it's on them how they're using it. Like I don't have control over that, but all I could do is try to encourage and share experiences that I had to hopefully you guys avoid the mistakes that I've made. Trust me, if you could learn from other people's mistakes, that's as gangster as it could get, where you don't have to make them. Okay. We are going to make a premium bet right now on the Minnesota Twins. If we would have got down a little sooner, it would have been a 4% play. Wow, Pinnacle's at minus 126. But I'm seeing as high as 134. So, yeah, I'm going to go 4% on Minnesota. 4% on Minnesota, actually. The wager talk line is minus 128 in the system. I'm going to say 4%. $135. I guess even 140 is good. Even 140 is good. All right, let's get Minnesota in there. Let me go bet Minnesota. Yeah, I don't think these girls are going to finish, man. All right, this book has 129, right close to what we had to wait it to. Oh, my sharp book has 133. I like that. All right, we got Minnesota in there. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, definitely, Matt. The later plays, it's not that they're sharper. It's just they tend to be more legit because you don't have much time to maneuver. Now, sometimes it is going to be the other end of a scalp or the other end of a middle. So you have to keep that in mind. But more times than not, when it's a late move, it's going to be legit. The limits are their highest, especially like in MMA. Unless, again, it's a huge scalp, which why would you risk a huge scalp in the final, 5 minutes? But like I had on the Gambler's Perspective, my podcast, the UFC, I had on, not arguably, proof the number one most profitable sports bettor at Circa since the property opened. So this gentleman, I've known him here in Las Vegas, done some things. He came on as a guest, didn't have anything to promote, doesn't have social media or anything like that. But anyone that knows that, is one of the most respected opinions right now because of all the cappers and wise guys that he works with. So he moves a lot. So he was talking about on the show, because of the amount of money that he has to get down, he's forced to bet the last hour before the fight starts. A lot of times he said even right before they walk down that aisle. And he's willing to give up some of his edge because even though the line was better earlier, if he bet it maybe earlier in the day or even a few days prior, he would have got a better number, but he couldn't get as much down. So he's willing to give up that edge and he compensates by betting more money on it. Because there's two ways to do it. Have a greater edge and risk less, or have a smaller edge and risk more. And he's willing to take a smaller edge and risk more because he needs to get a certain amount of money down. All right, so let me see what else. We just bet Minnesota. Go San Diego, KC.
She's tried it inside several times. Low landed in round one. Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for MLB. If anyone has any yeah, I like Minnesota a lot. 4%, I made Minnesota, correct? Let me make sure. Yep, 4% on Minnesota, 4% on Minnesota. Sorry, just betting a little more on Minnesota. Well, give me 1 second. I'll look at that next. Brandon's asking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, good number, 129. Kick here, don't kick here. Okay. All right, Pittsburgh. The gentleman asks about Pittsburgh. Nah, I like Texas. Let me look into that for you. The only reason I can't bet Texas is because of the splits for Pittsburgh, the way they play at home compared to on the road, and but I don't like that you have such a contrast in pitching as far as recency goes. You know, you have Keller coming off such a good game, and you have Rocker getting rocked. You like how he spun that? And now he's gotten rocked in back-to-back games, only lasting less than 65 pitches. I think he's going to progress more towards the mean. And, you know, we didn't see much from Rocker last year, but he was still below a 4 ERA. You know, he only gave us 3 games, but he started all those games for Texas. And in 11 innings, he only gave up 5 runs. So, again, it's a small sample size. But where he sits right now with a 7.5 ERA over his last 5, I think he's going to progress towards the mean, which is a little better than that. And I think it's the opposite for Pittsburgh. So, I like Texas a little bit. The only reason I can't bet them is because of the splits. I would need to get like plus 125. Even maybe like plus 120, I could get involved. Yeah, Dave. Oh, awesome, man. I love Aria. One of my best experiences was I stayed at Aria for 5 days and had full RFB. That's a room, food, beverage. And they backed me off after the first night. Like I was down. I lost like 2,000 and lady came and they backed me off. And I had told I reached out back then. It wasn't as much texting. I called the host and said, listen, bro, they're not letting me play blackjack. I want to give you action, but they're not letting me. I'll bet sports while I'm here. And, you know, made my girl play a little bit of slots and, you know, maybe some other, you know, games, but I blackjack's where I was going to gamble, but they had already given me RFB. So he can't pull it now. And I got to stay there 4 days without being forced to gamble and still sign everything to the room. And the sky suites at Aria are freaking amazing, dude. We had a corner sky suite overlooking the strip. Was one of the nicest rooms and one of the best experiences. Was just able to charge everything. And that was the record. That day, I got kicked out of three casinos in the same day. That was the record. Because when I got backed off at Aria, we went downtown to the Golden Nugget, and I never would get backed off at the Golden Nugget, but for whatever reason, they backed me off at the Golden Nugget. And then we went to Hard Rock, and Hard Rock's where they got really pissed, and I won, and they backed me off. But to make a long story short, went back to Aria, because that's where the room was, and I was up money. So the money I lost at Aria, I won at Golden Nugget, I won at the Hard Rock, and went back to Aria, able to stay there. So those were just good times, man. When you're doing that, like If you could have that experience, I highly recommend it. Like where you travel and mimic a high roller so that you could play advantage blackjack, and you get to get comped everything. Like it's a fun. Look at my smile. I can't take it down. Like it'll be one of the best experiences of your life. It's just so much fun if you enjoy gambling and that high or living. Man, these girls are going to go over. God damn, dude. Yeah, Segula. I thought Segula was live. So I'm gonna have to get up and change this real fast. My freaking this fight pass sucks. It always freezes. I don't know about you guys, but I'll give me a sec. Let me plug and unplug my TV. Hey, it's doing it up here too. Yeah. The freezing. Damn, man. Gonna lose another. We don't want to lose these, bet. Now it was a dog. The under was a dog, but come on, dude. These guys are better than that I'm working with. And I'm pissed. I was 2-0 yesterday on PFL. And then they came in and bet Primus, and that was my only fucking loser. And now today, I like the over in that heavyweight fight. But they were on the Hamdi, the favorite. But I did like both these girl totals. I did like both girl totals under. That's why I made them 4% and not 3s. I agreed with both. Let me look for you real quick. Let me look, brother, about CFL. Yeah, feel free to call these out. Yeah, loser. Wow. You suck. Yeah, Segula's the right side, man. I like both unders in CFL. I like both unders. And that makes sense because it's usually early in the season, you're going to get inflated totals because most recreational bettors are going to blindly bet these games over. And in the case of Ottawa and Calgary, that's what's happening. I'm looking now on the back end. And also in Winnipeg and BC. Not as heavy in Winnipeg and BC, but in Ottawa, Calgary, definitely one-sided over money. Let me see. Wow, if you could find a 49 out there, I would go under. Yeah, get me a 49 on Calgary, Ottawa, and I'm going under. Yeah, Dave, they have been going over. There you go. That just tells you that coupled with the early in the year bias towards the over and the fact that recency bias towards the over, I think you're looking at inflated totals. Wow, let me look at something in Calgary. I may bet this. Okay. Head to head. All right, they put up 60 last year and the total was about the same. Oh, wow. Yeah, I like both games under, man. Especially we could go under 40. If we could go under 49, under 50 and a half, I'm going under. Hey, B Daddy, welcome, brother. Welcome. Yeah, put me on both unders, bro. Oh, I want to fire both unders so bad. Can I do 2% plays? How about we do 2% plays on both unders? Yeah, I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it. 2% plays. We're going to buy the hook in Ottawa to 49. All right, we're going to go under in both. Small plays, small 2%ers. Wow. Big dog. Big dog. Big dog. I knew it. I knew it. I wish I had it, man. Did you see that, babe?
This is a rematch that dates back to 3 UFC careers. Melissa Mullins was the one who got the job in their first go back. A big commitment to the strength, conditioning, and nutrition program. Confidence as high as it's ever been. And now it's the chart for UK in the UFC. It's not.
Yeah, 2% plays. So for me, that's 0.50. That's a 0.5% of, you know. So on a $10,000 bankroll, I'd be betting $50. That's how you don't sweat. That's how you grow and build a business with patience. That's how you build businesses. You don't build them overnight. You grind. You know, a couple years before you turn a profit, and you're okay with that because you're going to build a business that sustains itself for a long, long time, that you can make money for a long, long time, retire off of. Have that mindset. Not make a score for this month and pay my bills, or to buy this, or to go out, or to front and buy shit and show off, but actually build a business that has a strong foundation and is sustainable to produce revenue for years for you. That's gangster, not the nonsense that you see. Come on now, you guys know better. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. And a lot of you guys signed up over the last 30 days. As long as our goals are aligned, because I know I've been hot, and when you're showing your number 1, last 3, last 7, last 30, you get a lot of sales. I've been seeing that. Please, please, please. If you have the same goal as me, I'm not going to disappoint you. To be up when December 31st rolls around. We're going to have great weeks. We're going to have some losing weeks. But when the dust settles, we will be up money. And there's no reason you won't be either if you bet size correctly and follow the blueprint. I did the heavy lifting. Your job is to get outs and fire so that you get good numbers. That's it. You do that, you'll make money. All right, let's go Canadian football. Under. Boom. All right, I really need this under in the Mullins fight. I like Mullins. If I have to bet this, I like Mullins. I like Mullins and under. As far as college baseball, I like the dog. I like the dog. Put me on the dog. I'd fade LSU here. I like Coastal. All right, we got under 49 and under 50 and 50 and a half. I'll take it. All right, 2% play. Both CFLs under. Both CFLs under. Now, like I said, college baseball, I like Coastal Carolina. I also like the under. Not enough to bet it. Not enough to fire a premium play. Look at Pinnacle line lighting up on that under. You know who hit that. Look at Pinnacle lighting up that under 50 and a half. Live on your screen. As we speak. As we speak. All right, we're going to watch this next fight together. I need the under big time. And real quickly, I'll look at some of that rest of that MMA, tell you some of the leans that I have. I know some of you guys are asking for that. So let me go with what's left. Okay. I like Mullins and under. Mullins and under. I like Park. I like Park. I like Oben Elliott. I like Elliott. I think Grad is live against Naimov. I like Sadikov here. I like Sadikov. Oralby and Musayev. I got nothing. Nothing. The line tells me it's a dog or pass on Musayev. I like the under 2.5, but the market is showing over. So for me, I pass. I don't fight it. I don't fight it unless I feel really confident. Then I don't care what the market does. But usually I trust in the efficient market hypothesis. Blades, Kuniev. I like Blades, obviously. Fazeev and Ignacio. Give me Bahamondes. I'll take the youth. I'll take the reach in what should be a stand-up fight. And main event, I like Jamal Hill, especially when he was at plus money. Again, I thought that was an overreaction to the recency bias with Roundtree's stock climbing off a loss to Pereira. He looked as good as you could look and get a loss. Where on the flip side, you look Hill off his second defeat by finish, this time to Prohaska in a co-main event. So back-to-back knockouts. And that's why you saw sharp money come in on Hill right away. So yeah. As far as game 7 tomorrow. Yes, the totals were from Andrew. You don't mind me sharing that. The totals were from Andrew, and the fade of Usman, which lost. Yeah, I work with him every day. One of my closest friends and most trustworthy business partners, without a doubt, is Andrew. That man has integrity. And he's a good friend. Good trusted friend. I don't even have to keep a figure. I just trust what he uses. Let me see if anything's come in for us. Oh, the Pinnacle Ottawa total's dropping. Dude, they hit moving it. Come on now. They're showing us some respect. Come on, under. Come on, girls. I mean, this is back-to-back women's bantams. That's like a coin flip. Those are close to 50% finish inside the distance. We got to get one in. Come on. Can you, Bill, hit me up on, what's it called? Instagram instant message. Come on, Zelenkova. Come on, finish her. Empty that tank, girl. Empty that tank. Come on, girls. Come on. Leave it out there. Yeah, they're moving those totals, Big Blue. They're giving us some respect, even on a 2%er. What's up, baby? I need this under, man, just to split on the 2-girl unders. The dog lost, but this is the favorite one. Wow, she almost finished her in the first minute. Your long shot? You want a new one? Fill out a sheet. I'll put it in.
That was nice.
I told you, the dog's going to jump in there. Can't have 10. 10 or 11 is a little too many of them. Like, if you're going to just have favorites, try to limit it to like 8. Because usually it's like, long term, over 1,000 MMA fights, about 65% will be dogs. So, if we have 12 fights per card, or even 13 fight average per card, right? We'll say 8.5 at 13. So you should try stick with 8 at the most. If you're only using Philly favorites. Come here. You want a parlay? She's been hot. She's been winning. Here goes her parlay. I'm going to put in her parlay for you. All right. She's got Hill, Bahamondes, Blades, Sadikov, Naimov, Park, Elliott, all the favorites, babe. All the favorites.
Sorry.
It's okay. 7-fighter parlay. If you bet it for 100, gets you 50, gets you 650. 100 gets you 1,300, 1,280. 50?
I
Okay.
already got too much.
All right. Yeah, you have that $500. She has a $500 2-fighter parlay. What is it with your $500 parlay?
Elliot and you walked almost just lost.
Oh, you lost it?
No, almost.
Oh.
Did you see that fight? He wasn't supposed to win. Against.
Oh, Ulan Bekov.
Yeah.
Okay, you won the first leg of your two-fighter parlay. Okay. 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 She's got a nickel parlay with Ulan Bekov and Oben Elliott. Elliott's the other leg?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but now you need Elliott. These girls ain't going to finish, man. Yeah, I need a under 2.5. So I get a split on those freaking totals. Come on, under. Yeah, good thinking, big. Because you're always going to get another shot to place a good bet. Why would you want to bet from a position of weakness? Like, you feel so much better, regardless of outcome. If you know you have a good ticket in your pocket, you know at least you did your job. But if you don't have a good number, then you got to feel like you're gambling before the game starts. It's just, let's just be honest. If you have a fight at minus 150 and it goes off at minus 220, like that's a great feeling. But if it was minus 150 and it goes off at 220 and you bet it at minus 220, you can't conclude that's a great bet. You're just hoping at that point. Come on, get that arm. Jesus, no. No, get that arm. Are you serious? She's a good girl. Thanks, Big Blue. She really is. She really is. 2 days ago, bro, she cleaned everything, the whole house. Like, I couldn't believe it when I came home. Like, everything was clean. My laundry was all done and folded. The house smelled so nice. She had put in all new air fresh. Like, it was just amazing. Amazing. And gave me the best birthday I've ever, honestly, since I was a kid. Like, I haven't celebrated my birthday in forever. And what she did last Thursday was the best birthday I've had. Like, not just like the stuff that she bought me, but just spent the whole day just celebrating. It was amazing. Like, such an unselfish person. That's the most important thing. Other than where you're born, honestly, other than where you're born, the person you're with, like, or marry, is going to play the biggest role in what kind of life you live. Like, whether you live a happy life or unhappy life, whether you live a prosperous life or unprosperous life, like, your partner is going to play such a role in that outcome. You got to be selfish when it comes to who you're going to spend your time with and your life with. Like, you can't worry about hurting feelings. You can't worry about judging. Like, you owe that to yourself. You have one life to live. And I made that mistake earlier, being married to the wrong person, not getting out earlier and wasting years that I can't get back. Like, there's nothing worse than that. I'm telling you, when it comes to who you're going to be with, be selfish for yourself. And regardless of your attraction to them, there's got to be more there. Like, and who they are, they're going to show you. Who they are, they will show you. Forget what they say. Their actions are going to show you who they are. And if you don't like who they are, like, you're not going to change the person. That's what I've realized in my longer life than a lot of you guys, my life experience, that people could change for a little bit of time. They could adapt and adjust and even evolve a little, but they're not going to change. Like, who you are is who you are. Your personality's been set as a child. Damn, this ain't going over, man. Wow. Come on, man. Once each round that passes, the probability of a finish is less and less and less. Once this got out of the first round, you start to worry. Out of the first round, you kiss it goodbye. Out of the second round, more times than not. Yeah, big. It's okay. Like the good thing is you got it over with early in life. You have more than enough time to put that behind you and have more happy years than bad years. You know, that'll be 20 years from now, 30 years from now, that'll look like a small window in your experience, life experience. Right now, when you're younger, it seems like a lot because it was a big percentage of your life. But when you're 40, 50, 60, that mistake you made at 19 is going to be such a small sliver of your life. Don't let it be more significant than it was. Like, don't let it matter more than it should. Don't let it do more damage to you than it has. Don't let it ruin you. Like, put that shit behind you, bro. Put that shit behind you. Thank you, Cam. I talk from experience. I'm not embarrassed, bro. I've made every mistake you could make. I've done it all. You know, I've had a very difficult life. I lost my father at the most important stage, I think, in a young man's life. I was misguided, not having I'm not blaming that, but it just played such a big role in the direction of how my life played out. It was a lot more difficult than it should have. I went through it all, bro. I've been evicted. I've had my electricity cut off. I've had at bouts where I thought I'd be homeless if I didn't, a friend didn't let me go stay at their place. Like, I'm not embarrassed of those things. I've had to drive out of here in Vegas. I've driven a cab. I've worked in a pizza store. I worked for $5 an hour before, for $5 an hour, just because I needed a job that badly. Like, it is what it is. When you don't have a education, and again, my parents were immigrants, didn't even speak English. Like, you're a low-skilled worker. Luckily for me, I was surrounded by the most like elite bettors on the planet, almost by accident, just where I was raised, that I got into this. Wow. Now we had a chance of an under, huh? Well said, Inter. Well said. Well said. How did these two girls not finish, man? Dude, I lost this. I got 4 dimes on this, bro. That's a lot of money. And this one is a little juiced. I lost. Yeah, it's true, Cam. Because I got here with only $600 and I couldn't afford to be like on a hotel. So I went to a motel on the strip, bro. Like the kind that hookers would go for an hour. Like, not the hot hookers either. You know what I mean? Like the crackhead hookers. Like, not your escorts weren't going there. You know what I mean? There was the kind of motel that rents by the hour also. But it just shows, like, but going from that to where I am now, and it may seem like a long time, 25 years. But the truth is, like, I've been comfortable more or less the last at least 15 of those. So, I mean, it shows that in 10 years, you could accomplish a lot. Like, we overestimate what we can accomplish in a month, and we underestimate what we could accomplish in, 2 years. That's why most people, they work out for a little, but they're like, oh, I didn't accomplish my goals in 2 months, and they quit because your expectations are greater than what you could produce in a short time, but they're usually lesser than what you could produce in a long time. That's why time is on your side, baby, especially when you're young. Dude, these dogs are getting it done today, boy. Mullins is going to lose too. Dude, they're both so beat up, and this one's going to go over. Jesus. There ain't no way this one's going over, boys. Fuck. Are you serious? I can't be too pissed because I like those unders too. And you figure with women's bantams, where it's like near a coin flip, yeah, we're going to need Park, David. Because this is some bullshit here. They haven't contacted each other at all this whole round. 2 minutes, they haven't even made contact. Wow. Wow. Wow, good bet, Cam. Good live bet. Great live bet. Yeah, let me get into those lives. Good eye. Why have I not been looking at the lives? I've been so into this stream. I haven't looked at the lives. Let's start looking at these lives.
This is the game, you know. This is what the training pays off. This is what you're not a better early. Going for those morning runs, doing the hill splits on Saturday morning, doing the extreme strength and conditioning. This is what it pays off.
Oh. Oh, good question, Kyle. A good bet book. There's not that many on sports betting. Let me look for you in my library. Yeah, the logic of sports betting's the book that I've read over the last like 5 years. I would say Ed Miller's Logic of Sports Betting is a good book. It's a good book. But as far as like reading a book that's going to help give you an edge, there's none out there. There's none out there. Not even like Stanford Wong's Sharp Betting anymore. Like all that stuff's all factored in now. But it's a good read. It's a good read.
Where is it? Sound familiar? It should. Bringing the microchip powerhouse to market? Yes, it belongs there. Any tech company needs a corporate investment bank. The way they think. Because they're both Americans. And they move with me.
Two title fights are on 10-7 in the Las Vegas UFC 317. Main event features a fight for the vacant UFC Lightweight Championship.
I want to read that Gambling. I don't. Has anyone read Gambling for Life? The Harry Findlay story. I had never heard of him.
We go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 30-27, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision.
Wow, the dogs are biting.
Still not done enough to get the victory, and she keeps the score with Melissa Mullins at 1 point apiece in this round already. All right, let's keep things going here on the prelims. Only one bout tonight in the middleweight division, and comes here and now. With a middleweight to the top of this fight, RTF first. He returned to the UFC last year, and it's hard for he battles.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of books, like if someone really has an edge, like they have a system that's working, once they put it out there, that edge is going to be gone. Eventually, the market's going to soak it up. And remember, it's an efficient market. It continues to correct itself. So once that blueprint is released, it's going to start being factored into the price eventually. You see that with all like predictive stats and data. Anything that they deem predictive, they start using and factor into the line. That's the problem. Yeah, the dogs are really barking.
So you can easily watch the games you want. Jason, you still here?
Wow, crazy card so far. Crazy card so far. I haven't read the Billy Walters book. It's kind of like I know that story. Okay, we're really going to need Park next. Line's moving up. Money's coming in. This will be the last bet. We watch this one and then we'll shut it down. Let's see if Park could get us back to 2 and 3. And let me look at that White Sox real fast again. Nah, we're not going to go over in the under in the White Sox. We're going to pass. But I do like under Arizona, Colorado. So that might get confirmed for subscribers. Set me up, babe. Another dog. Yeah. That's crazy. That's in 4 fights. We've got 3 dogs. That's good for the favorites. Yeah. That's good for the favorites. Yep. My least favorite head coach, Will, that's easy. Was what's it called? Carroll. For sure. For sure. When he was with Seattle. Pete Carroll, Pat Carroll, you know. I liked them at USC. I liked them at USC because they had such a good team during that, but I hated them at Seattle. I hated them. It was that guy that was up by 3 touchdowns with 2 minutes left and was still coaching. That used to piss me off. Team Iron Turtle, stand up. Bro, you can't have 160. I got to bet it. I just bet another nickel. Saints. That's the only team I really have a soft spot still. And they can't lie, the Cowboys too, because growing up in Philly, I was a Steelers fan growing up, but then in like my late teens and 20s, when I started booking, I was so anti-Philly because that's what everyone bet that I was a Dallas fan automatically. So, and that's when Dallas was winning Super Bowl. So it was a beautiful time to be me back in Philadelphia back then. But since moving to Las Vegas, the only team I've ever adopted was the Saints because I loved going to New Orleans for a while there where I didn't even dirty myself up at Harrah's and wouldn't fuck with Caesar's properties because I wanted to be able to go down there and stay for free and do all that shit. Yeah, I'm a bias towards the Saints. Come on, Park. Come on, Park. Nardiev, listen, the value's on the Park side. You saw who Nardiev beat on his return to the UFC. Beat a guy who lost 5 fights in a row. 1 win in 8. And he even split when he got and went to Brave. Come on, Iron Turtle. Wow, up to minus almost 200 at Sports 411.
The speed is definitely on the side of the number there. However, Gianni he's just walks people down. He's got really good timing. He has got big power. So while the slickness, the speed, even the varieties on the side of the node here, Gianni Park's just an equalizer. Just toughness, grit, not to say sheer power. His third trip in an MMA fight as a middleweight, 2-0 previous to that. This return to the UFC, the leader of Bruno Silva was at UFC 308 last October as they clinch up. Strikes on the way up again. Oh, nice. And gets to the gym. 1, 2, 3. We start with the money. Hard to get busy here. I like it. Picks up really well. And it takes on with the body. Coming back upstairs. Being cautious, knowing that Park is good at staying in the pocket after he gets hurt and answering back big power shots. Nice combination.
Damn, Turtle's getting hit. I don't look at the only betting splits I look is the back ends that I have access to, which are sheets that are taking actual bets. I don't look at none of those sites that show percentages. I just don't even trust what that data even means. I like to see in the book where I see actual bets.
really good job rolling with the punch, minimizing the impact. Oh, nice. Really good fast combination.
Well, that's what we expected was going to happen. If Nerdiev doesn't have that knockout power, Park will start breaking him down. And that was how I thought this fight's going to play out. But that'll keep walking him down.
Just with his presence alone, that's exhausting mentally. Gets through, gets his attention.
And for a middleweight that just keeps coming forward. Yeah, he does seem that way, Cam. I agree. With Turtle, I thought he has to withstand that, the early stuff, because the younger fighter is going to outland him early. But if he doesn't have the power to get his respect and like drop him, I thought he'd start to walk through some of them and start landing some big power shots of his own and slow him down and eventually do damage. But I'm a little surprised how aggressive Nerdiev is. Come on, man. This ref, he's like, you sure? See, that's what we want. The power's on the Park side. Yeah, Park, that's it. Good comeback. Good way to turn that round around. There you go. Just keep walking him down. Keep walking him down. Come on, Park. All right, let's cheer this in, boys. Yeah, there's nothing better, Will, than being at a Saints game. A couple of times I went because Harris hooked it up in their box. Dude, that place is rocking. I went on a Sunday night game against the Steelers, where you know how that fan base travels. Like New Orleans was filled with Steeler fans, all Steeler fans there. And I saw firsthand how home field advantage mattered. They weren't able to call any audibles at the line. Like they had them go offside so many times because the crowd was so loud. This was during the Super Bowl run era after Katrina and all of that. I think the smaller boards, Wig Dog, that's where I would look at. Smaller boards, smaller markets, even like MMA, smaller promotions, LFA, PFL, Bellator, that kind of stuff. I would look at things like Premier League, lacrosse, WNBA, especially now with Caitlin Clark and that buzz. I think your chances of becoming a an originator or a plus EV bettor yourself is greater. You're not competing as much against the betting syndicates.
Yes.
Dude, he need him while he was down.
Steps in right away. Park was on the knee. Ismail now lands into his head. And now
DQ, DQ, DQ. DQ, DQ. Oh, I gave so far 2 NFL futures, a 4% and a 5%. Season win totals are going to start coming. They always come. The end of June through mid-July, we'll have the majority, probably 80, 90% of our futures in football done. Done. You know how well those have done. When it comes to props and NFL and futures, you know how well I've done. Bro, it's DQ. DQ. Sox and Giants. I like Boston. I like Boston. Yeah, I think, you know, San Fran's playing above their potential. And Boston's just playing really well right now, right? They've won 8 of the last 9 games. While San Francisco's struggling, getting Boston at a plus money. The only thing I don't like is the pitching matchup, how Bellows coming off one of his best performances and Rupp got destroyed last time out. If that wasn't the case, I would be betting Boston for sure. But I kind of like all the pieces to connect for me to send my own stuff. It's a DQ. What are we missing? He can't even see. What are you doing?
It's fine. When the knee is down, the fight is grounded. But the knee was the number, yeah, the ground. It was grounded. I didn't take the point. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points.
2 points. That's it. 2 points. The foul and the cut. 2 points. 2 points. Yeah, it's a loss, bro. We should get the win. What the fuck? Park needs to say he can't continue. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing, Park? You have the W.
So Park seems to be fighting well. That's just doesn't mean that the enemy is compromised.
Yeah, it is compromised. What's going on, bro? Are you serious? Exactly, Brian. I agree. I agree. Who cares about the 2 points? This fight was over. That ref doesn't know what to do. Yeah, the doctor and the ref are supposed to handle it. It's not the fighter's job. That's bullshit. You see he can't see. You see it's bleeding. You see they've taken the whole 5 minutes. Yeah, don't mess up our morning like this. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, now he's going to lose this round and shit, yo. Yeah, Park's an idiot, man. Park's an idiot. Smash him, Park. Smash. Smash. I think in Paul, you need to keep it simple. I think for the first decade of your betting career, you need to keep it simple. And percentage of bet, bankroll bet size needs to be the same. My best advice is stick it to 1% at the most. 0.5% even better on everything. That's it. You got a $1,000 bankroll, just start flat betting $10. That's it. Flat bet it. Flat bet it. When you get that to $2,000 bankroll, now you're flat betting $20. Onward, onward, onward. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. That eliminate that question from the equation as far as what I'm betting. Already know this is what my business is worth right now. It's $1,000 business. With my $1,000 business, I could afford $10 a bet. That's it. Then we'll revisit it when my business is worth $2,000. We'll revisit it when it's worth $3,000. But you keep the bet percentage the same so that your risk never increases. Even though your bet size will increase, the percentage of the bankroll is the same. So that doesn't increase. So you're never increasing your risk. You're making bigger bets, but your risk stays the same. And then you have the beauty of using compounding interest for years if you do that. But it's starting the right way and having the patience to follow through year after year after year. That's the 0.5% that actually does it. Not wanting to get rich overnight. Yeah, Jacko, we need a finish right now. We need a finish. We need a takedown, take that back, and end it. That's it. Get his ass down. There you go, Park. There you go, Park. Stay on that back. This is what he does best. Stay on that back. Stay on that back. Come on, Park. That's it, Park. Keep wearing on him. There we go. Mount him, brother. Mount him. Take that back. Iron Turtle, baby. Come on, Iron Turtle. Come on, Iron Turtle. Finish this. Don't let him up. Don't let him up. That's okay. Stay in this half guard all day. Stay in it all day. Yeah, Park. Yeah, Park. Get us back those 4 units. Two minutes more, baby. Keep smashing. Keep smashing. It was like a 10-dime swing. I laid what, minus 180 for 4 dimes? Oh, yes. Will Park get us the finish? I'm going to look through the back end real quick, see if anything else is in. All right. All right, we'll cheer this in. Yes, sir, Jake. Yes, sir. Let's cheer this one in. And then we'll shut this shit down.
Sydney and Richie as they push forward to determine not only to survive, but also to take the bear to the next level. This is the Bear episode straight date June 25th. Right now, we need the official decision for that division spot. Let's determine after 3 rounds. We go to the judges' scorecard.
Let's go all three.
29-26, 29-26, and 29-25 for the winner, fucking death. Rounds 2 and 3, that includes the 2-point deduction on the side of this might now idea after Julio Park in the first minute of round 2 made that legal strike to the head, emerges victorious after 3 rounds. Featured prelim is at welterweight, fresh from a star.
All right, we got there. We got there. Nothing else has come in, guys. That's going to do it. That's going to do it. You know what we're cheering in. We got our 5% still, and still going to be looking at the rest of this card. Still got whole main card. You may get another round total come out. And like I said, still looking at the late baseball. You subscribers, as you know, you've been getting some of that stuff about an hour and a half before first pitch, which is probably around 6 p.m. Eastern. So keep your eye out. Thanks again, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day and rest of this card. Hope you do some damage. And remember, go to wagertalk.com, freak_gambler, number 2 in profit in 2025. Going for that number 1 spot. We'll be there before you know it. Thank you. Thank you. And whether you follow or fade, I hope you cash them, don't trash them. Boom.